I just rolled out of bed. I don't know, I just couldn't sleep, and one thing led to another. I somehow went down this rabbit hole of downloads, and it all started off when I decided to Google plane crashes. So today, unbeknownst to many, or perhaps known to many, there was a Delta aircraft that rolled over at Pearson Airport in Toronto. Luckily, all passengers survived, but it rang in my curiosity. I hopped onto Google and just quickly Googled how many crashes have there been this year so far in 2025. As of 4 hours ago, there has been, I believe, 82 crashes worldwide, commercial airline crashes. This is quite shocking, to say the least, but not so shocking in the greater scheme of things, in knowing that the ascension is coming into our energetic field. As many of you may know or may not know, the polar opposites of our magnetic North Pole is shifting towards a westward direction. This shift anchored in by a God's consciousness, that is Gaia, as she decided to begin to shift her pole not long ago in earthly years, and to prepare herself to anchor in this ascension, this massive ascension energy that's incoming. And what's really interesting about the download that I received, sometimes I agree to receive information, but had I not tapped in, I wouldn't have, in my mental scope, in my human mind, known about the severity of the situation, and that is the nuclear war that is about to dawn upon us. And I think not a lot of people know of the reality fields of nuclear weaponism and nuclear technology, and the incoming nuclear war is quite scary. Not to say that it's going to happen, but currently there is a nuclear weapon, a nuclear fusion weapon technology aimed at Siberia. Now, what's really interesting about Siberia is that currently the North Pole is shifting towards Siberia, a part of Russia that will become the new magnetic North Pole during the time that we ring in the ascension energies. And Russia is a very significant country in the political scope of things, unbeknownst to humanity, because Siberia will become, or is expected and projected to become, the new magnetic North Pole. And the importance of this nuclear weapon being aimed at Siberia is that this nuclear fusion technology is capable of shifting the polarity within the northern scope of Gaia to inlay a layer of energetic frequency that could twist and skew the magnetic polarity of Gaia back towards the south, which predominantly the reason for shifting the pole back to the south is to attempt to skew and stop the impending ice age. As I explained in my previous videos, that there is an impending ice age that will dawn upon humanity and the three-dimensional frequency within the next 10 years in Earth time, following the ascension that will happen within the next 2 to 3 years in 2027. The elites right now are scratching their heads. The politicians, the elites of the world, are in a scope of confusion, in a scope of denial, in a scope of schemes. These schemes will be laid out for all to see as soon as Trump becomes done with Doge and proceeds to eliminate the WEF and the WHO in a way that will lay out the underground plans that the elites have made to expose them in ways that we've never seen, that we can never ever fathom to be true or to be real. As within the political scope of things in this moment in time, there's a lot of hearsay that is happening, but most importantly, what is displayed outwardly for a societal structure to witness couldn't be further from the truth of what's really happening on the interior scope of things. And as time progresses through to the end of this year, you will see as all of the chess pieces become laid out for humanity to unravel through, as this disclosure has started to unfold. And if we set our eyes towards the US, if we set our eyes towards the government structure there and how everything is unraveling, we will begin to notice information about the elites, information that has been kept in secrecy for decades, become unraveled into a public sphere, into a public scope for us to shift through, for us to decipher through. And the purpose of this release of this information is to pad the awakening process that starseeds and light workers will begin to go through the suffering that they will endure when shit hits the fan. Excuse my language. But there's no better or worse way to describe it in this moment in time, as the toppling of our structuralism system becomes anchored into this reality field. You will suffer through these distortions. Every single one of us will suffer through the collapse of the reality field, through the collapse of the structuralism that we've been living by, that we've been anchored into, through the reality field that we know to exist, to have been true for all of our lives. And as headlights beam towards the area of Siberia, of Russia, just keep in mind that the political scheme of things is deeper than you can ever envision and imagine to be true, that the darkness rising is darker than you could ever fathom to be real and fathom to have ever existed within the control mechanism of our humanity field. And God is here. God is here to pad that. Everything that you see being played out on the political scope has been a chess game, has been a Luciferian chess game, and with the incoming energetic field of a higher, brighter, lighter frequency of source that has decided to come back and take a hold of this reality field back into the oneness of it all that we've always sat in within the existence of humanity, within the existence of the unity consciousness of this energetic frequency and perception. All of humanity is set to awaken to this distortion field of Gaia that we live in. And with our eyes on the scope of all these aviation disasters, it's just the beginning, ladies and gentlemen, as we head into 2005. We're already in February and things are slowly beginning to unravel. And as I mentioned before, this will be the last year of quote unquote normalcy within the societal field that we call home. But all of this is leading to something brighter and greater. And to be noted that this nuclear weapon that I speak of shall never be detonated, though it is pointing in the direction of Siberia, though the elites have a plan to detonate it, to counteract the force of Gaia's pole shift, to undo this pole shift. There's nothing that they can do, and they'll come to a realization of this very soon, that there's nothing they can do to stop God, to stop our plans to shift into this greater and grander ascension of this incoming evolution of consciousness that is heading our way. All is well, all is exciting, and I'll be coming out with more videos as more downloads come my way. I hope everyone has a wonderful day, a wonderful evening, wonderful morning, wherever you are.